May not be appropriate for some children.
Or some
I mean,
rigid adults.
May not be appropriate for close-minded humans.
There you go. That's the better one.
Right, right. Are you getting a good
No, but I'm about
Yeah.
to.
good photo of the gnome and
Do that.
There we
his
go.
mat? I'm good, it's a good fit for him.
All right. Good morning, Darden. So as you see, the gnome is here, and he has his mat, blocks, and strap. Hello, Lisa. So for those of you at home, make sure you also have your mat, strap, and blocks. Hello, Miss Conway. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's shut the eyes, sitting head, neck, and trunk straight. Chin is parallel to the floor. And begin Kapalabhati, either at my rhythm or your rhythm, you decide. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Asatoma Sadagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Sana Bhavantu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavane Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And now preparing for nature the animal. Placing a ruler vertically in front of the eyes. Opening the eyes, sliding the eyes to the top. One line to the bottom.
That's why we listen.
Thank you. Next time the eyes approach the top, center, blink and shut. And then placing that roller horizontally, opening the eyes, sliding the eyes to the right, one line to the left, continuing back and forth. Next time the eyes approach the right, center, blink, and shut. Allowing the eyes to remain shut, and begin to make infinity signs to the top right, varying the size and the speed. Next time the eyes approach the starting point, allowing the eyes to stop, and then reverse. Next time the eyes approach the starting point, allowing the eyes to stop. Softening to the back of the skull, bringing the palms together, rubbing them together, getting lots of heat, lots of energy. When you feel the heat, tap the palms over the eyes. Taking the energy from the crown chakra, directing through the arms, the forearms, the palms, back into the eyes. Once the heat begins to dissipate, gently give the eyes, temples, cheeks, anywhere that needs any extra touch or healing. So as always, we're going to do some extended pranayama. So go ahead and find whatever position you want to be in right now. So let's have the forefingers and thumbs touch them so they can be resting with the palms down, or if you feel like you want to turn the palms up, that is fine too. If you can slide it back so the elbows are directly underneath the shoulder heads. Notice the weight distribution through the sitting bones, the lift of the shoulders, length of the neck. So let's work for creating some silence, some stillness. So I'm going to let you just focus on the breath, and intermittently I'm going to just say scan, and I want you to scan the body at that point, noticing if maybe the shoulder is lifted, the chin is dropped, maybe you're leaning to one side, maybe the groins are restricted. Things that if we don't pause, we're not even aware of. And that creates noise in the body because that's tension. So you know all the fundamentals, right? Let's have it breath continuous, smooth out the choppiness. Make the breath as refined as possible. Now take it, doesn't matter, whichever finger, forefinger, and I want you to place it underneath the nose holes. How much can you feel the exhalation? So do that for a breath or two. Then release the hand, because you don't want to feel it at all. Notice if there's any moving at all. Is a finger lifting, a toe moving, anything. Scan. Remember, it is be still and know that I am God, not fidget and twist. the spine if you need to. Scan. And when you're ready, go ahead, open the eyes, come to the fingertips and just slide forward. So maybe you have a little more awareness of something that you may be holding in the body, some sort of tension, some sort of resistance. Maybe you can have a little more awareness between the left and the right side. Quickly slide it back. Take your right hand to the side. You can keep it extended. You can drop to a block. Left arm comes up. Don't let the left side lift. You can drop the hand down. You can pull it back. But try to keep the forearm, if you're down on the forearm, parallel to the short line of the mat. So for you folks at home, I'm going to take the camera on a trip so you can see this mat. And his little blocks. So the gnome has his own special mat. Thanks to Rachel Lynette. And he has the blocks.
That was like the highlight of our night. We had so much fun.
Now it's the highlight of our day.
Yeah. We even made one for the pig.
So
it's a circle. Because she's a circle.
Right. Lisa said fancy. It is. The camera didn't show it as well as it looks in person. It's really sweet. Bring it back up. Switch it to the second side. So let's see here. We've said hello to Linda, Darden, and Lisa. Hello, Kelsey. Kelsey said downward facing now. Well, he's having his back is a little tender, so he's just going to be doing Tadasana.
Permanently.
His feet don't move. Daddy! My feet don't move. And Allie is with us too. Okay. Bring it back up. Quickly switch so the opposite leg is in that lead position. Slide it forward again. So if you are at home, since the gnome has his strap. We'll do a couple of strap things. We'll let him inspire us. And if you haven't watched The Gnome Knows yet, make sure you watch it. It's a super good one this week. I would discuss it, but I don't want to give the plot away. Yes. But you must kiss the snake.
No.
And that's not the foreplay. Slide it back. Take your left hand to the side first. He is going to stay on his mat and he's going to do his practice, which I would suggest all of you do as well.
Even Goji made a little mat. She made one because we had, it was a Lululemon mat, and we cut it all up, and I had like extra, so Etch made one for his, like a Barbie.
Oh, fun.
So like all three of us were on the kitchen floor painting yoga mats. One for a pig, one for a Barbie, one for a gnome.
Bring it up and switch sides. So it'll be a super episode when Gnome beats Pearl.
Oh yeah. She's still getting her makeover. She's high maintenance.
Right?
He'll be patient.
What'd you say, Kaylee?
He'll be patient.
Right, yeah.
Never quite like.
Yeah.
He's good at waiting.
He waited for years for his makeover.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, with the inhalation, bring it up. Go ahead and take the strap. If you need to adjust, so maybe shoulders distance, if you know that the shoulders tend to be a little bit tight, then make the strap a little bit looser. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I want you to hang onto the strap like so. So palms down and really grip it. So you need to start pulling this like you're trying to break this strap into two. So if I come by and I karate chop it, I shouldn't be able to.
She might.
Now you're going to slowly bring it up. Keep pulling it apart. And so some of us might stop here, some of us can take it back. Keep tugging so it's not when you get up tall, you're going to like release it. Now slowly take it down. Try to have the same resistance just going up and down. If you find at any point you need to adjust, and try to have the hands, so if you open them, the palms would be facing the floor. So don't have the hands shifted in any kind of angle or any way. A few more times this way. Try to keep the spine nice and long. Our tendency is to kind of shift one way or the other, and we also kind of want to drop our chin in. So let's keep everything as long and as neutral as we can. Okay, now the next time you come up, I want you to stay up. So it doesn't matter if you're right here, if you're parallel to the floor, if you're all the way up, but you stay there and tug. Really tug. Carly, are you tugging?
Definitely.
Karate chop.
We're about to find out. Okay, lower down. As soon as you get down, the right hand's going to stay exactly as it is. Flip the left hand so the palm is facing up. Now hook the strap, same amount, so keep tugging, and maybe you don't go as far. Now what's going to happen here is that hand's going to want to turn. Don't let it turn. So if you find that you're right here and the hand turns, then stay right here and you lower down and come up. So it's going to change it. And if you can't feel the other thing, so the other thing it might do is it might drop down. The wrist might drop down a little bit. You want to keep them parallel to each other. So if you're not aware, so this is part of the reason why we scan the body at the beginning, because sometimes we're not even aware of what's happening in the body. So how can we quiet the noise? So maybe take a look to see, it's like, oh wow, I didn't even realize that. Keep that resistance though. Because the body's tricky, right? It'll start shifting once it's out of the line of vision. Next time you get up, pause and hold. I want everybody to take a look at those wrists. Are they parallel? One facing down, one facing up. Slowly release, and then you're going to flip it so the opposite hand is facing up. Same thing, you start going up and down. And you'll probably have differences between the two sides. Next time you get to the top, pause and hold. Take a look. Lower down. Now, flip it so that both palms are facing up. And you start going up and down. Don't let the hands do anything. So same thing, you go up. Don't let them do this business, and you go down. You might not be able to get as high. Try not to let the hands drop down, but keep them neutral and tug. We talk a lot about you live one of two ways, expanding or contracting. And I had this random thought come into my head this morning when I was walking the boys. There's this comic. He's an Indian comic comedian, and G and I watched him when we were living in Singapore. I forget who told us about it, but anyway, he was giving a skit on. He was going into this like Asian market. There was something he was going to buy from this Chinese vendor, and Indians and Asians, they're going to just bicker with each other over the price. And there's like this purse, and the Chinese guy was saying, you know, $20, and the Indian was like, no, $15, and he's like, $18, and he kept saying, do the right thing, and just like buy it, right? Don't bicker with me, just buy it, just do the right thing. So next time you come up, pause and hold. Quickly look at those hands. Are they neutral? You're working the arms a little differently. This is exciting. Do the right thing. Tug it apart just a little bit more. With the exhalation, release. Quickly take a block. So now this is tugging, right? So now let's just press into the block. So the same exact movement, but you're pressing into the block. So don't let anybody, if anybody was to walk around and knock it out, they wouldn't be able to. So you're going to press and lift it up. So it's going to feel different. But I started thinking about that in terms of do the right thing, in terms of Dharma. So inhaling up, exhaling down, nice and slow. So like we think of Dharma as like our righteous duty, right? Or these, so much more than just morals. Dharma is following the tenets of ahimsa, following the tenets of satya, of parigraha, right? We don't want to be greedy. We don't want to steal. We don't want to lie. We don't want to harm. And we all have this moral code, which is our own individual dharma, our own individual duty. So do the right thing. What if we thought about dharma as being doing the right thing, but think about it in expanding our consciousness? Because when we expand our consciousness, what happens? The grip of the ego loosens. So when we expand, the ego loses its tether to us. So doing the right thing is following expansion through Dharma, which then becomes so much more powerful. Not do the right thing in what society says, right? Society will say, you know, take what you want and forget what everybody else needs. What's the best for others? Next time you come up, pause and hold. And it's okay, right? That's what society says. Press into the block now. Couple more breaths. And then slowly release. Give the legs, just put the legs forward, give them a little bit of a shake. Let's just go to Paschimottanasana for just a couple of breaths. Great society is do the right thing, take yours, and forget everyone else. That's contraction. That is not expansion. That is tightening, letting the ego tighten its grip on you. So when we contract, the ego becomes bigger. When we expand, our consciousness becomes bigger. And then go ahead and walk it back. Take the 2 blocks. If you're comfortable highest level, if you feel like that's going to be a little precarious, don't worry about it. Keep the legs extended. Fingers wrap around the front. Lift up. Slowly lower down. Don't let the elbows drop out to the sides. Keep the elbows tucked in. up and down. So keep the elbows really going in. You know, there's a story about Gandhi. I don't know if this is true, but everybody knows I love Gandhi quotes, but I'm not a huge fan of Gandhi. But if this story is true, I respect it. There was a lady who came to visit him at the ashram, and she said, "Sir, can my son or daughter, my child's eating too many sweets. Can you tell him to not eat so many sweets? It's not good for his health." He's like, "Yeah, I can. Come back next Wednesday and I'll do it." So she comes back with her child on Wednesday, and he says to the little boy, he says, "Don't eat so many sweets, it's not good for your health." And that's it. And then he sends the little boy on his way. And the mom said, "Why did you wait a week to say the exact same thing?" And he said, "Well, last week I was eating too many sweets. So I couldn't tell someone else to not eat so many sweets because that's hypocrisy. That's doing the right thing, right? That is, don't give advice, right? We love to give advice, but if you're not doing something, then don't say it. Don't say, don't eat cookies, and you're, eating cookies every time you get a chance. Don't say don't smoke weed and you're sparking up every hour. Don't say love your neighbor and you're like, "God damn, I hate my fucking neighbors. They're the biggest rednecks in the world." Part of that is harmony in thought, speech, and action. That is doing the right thing.
That's when my classes are quiet.
18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So let's expand our understanding of Dharma. 13, of doing the right thing. And if you're not sure what the right thing is, go seek someone that you trust, that you feel like they do more of the right thing than less of the right thing. And I'm not talking worldly right. I'm talking spiritually. I'm talking evolutionary, where they're growing. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back into Paschimottanasana for just a breath. After you finish that bent legs or straight legs, you can use the blocks if you want. Just press up. Inhale and bring it up. Okay, now you have some choices here. So you can either do Kapalabhati or you can do slow deep breathing. So you decide. Expand the front part of the body here. This is part of the problem that's wrong with the world, and you have all these spiritual leaders out there claiming to do the right thing. But if you could get in their minds and examine their thoughts, you'd be like, oh, whoa. They're doing all of this to make the ego bigger, not the conscious, not that awareness, the soul aspect, their divinity, their consciousness. Go squeeze the legs in, roll it over, come over to all fours. Press back, downward facing dog. Slide the feet in so they're about hip pointers apart. So about 6 to 8 inches. So maybe everybody go about 6 to 8 inches then. Okay, turn the toes towards each other and the heels out. Press back through the palms. If you need to get on blocks, get on blocks. Walk the hands back just a bit. Walk the hands back just a bit more. Keep pushing back through those heels as much as you can. Walk the hands to that second position. So back, so we're going forward a little bit with the hands. Not all the way in downward facing dog. Not as back as far as they were. Keep the right toes turning in as much as you can. So the right foot is at a nice angle. Parallel the left foot. Lift the left foot up, the left leg up. Now walk it back to about the second position, not all the way, and push back. So we're not all the way back to the foot, but push back. Keep the hips parallel. Can you lift the left leg up a little more? Part of the way that you will know when you are doing the right thing is by doing your practice, because then we have more clarity in thought. Release that foot, both toes, so all the toes facing together again, so bring it forward. Now walk back to that downward facing dog, keep the feet together. Push back. Okay, now walk back to that midway point. Push back, parallel the opposite foot. Turn the other foot in a little bit more if you can, lift it up. So you know what to do here, right? You're just gonna stay here, focus and breathe. Release. All the toes point in, walk it back, downward facing dog.
Like in toward each other.
Yeah, until you get to downward facing dog and then parallel the feet again. Okay, I don't want the hips to shift here, but I want you to bend the right knee and press the left leg as straight as you can. Don't let the hips drop. So keep the hips level and just bend the leg as much as you can. There you go, nice. Couple more breaths. Release that leg, second leg. Same thing, so don't drop the hips to get the movement. And release. Press back, downward facing dog. So for you guys here, I'm using my left leg just so you can see it a little better, but everybody use the right leg. So walk the hands a little bit to the left side of the mat. You're still in downward facing dog. Bring the the right leg forward. And I want you to be on the side of the foot and draw the toes back and then push back. So blocks if you need it. Hands are on the inside. Level the hips. Both legs as straight as possible. Just a couple more breaths like this. Now push the foot flat to the floor. Keep it to the outside. Nothing changes, but just the foot goes flat. Walk the hands forward if you can. You don't have to stay back, you can walk forward. Okay, release, slide the hands back to that center, that downward dog position. Take the leg back. Then you're going to slide the hands to the second side. Bring the leg forward, same thing on the side of the foot. Draw the toes back. Both legs as straight as possible. Blocks if you need it. How is it different? Does it feel different?
Mm-hmm. It feels so good though in the inner thigh.
Right?
Oh, it's very nice.
So the heel should still be pointing to the back wall. So don't let we're not doing any angling now. So you guys know what to do. Be here for a few breaths, more than a few. So going back to this do the right thing business, it's hard because we don't have clarity of mind. Why don't we have clarity of mind? Because all of our preferences, all of our attachments, all of our aversions, and our attachments and aversions, when we think about it, it's not just right now. What am I attached to? I'm attached to the Democratic Party, or I'm attached to the Republican Party, or I'm attached to Ohio State, whatever, right? It's not that. You have your attachments and aversions based on your sex, your race, your socioeconomic status, your family that you were born into this lifetime, your neighborhood that you grew up in or neighborhoods that you grew up in, the city you live in, the state you live in, the country you live in, But it's not just in this lifetime, it's from lifetimes. So imagine how convoluted, how crowded our mind is. So yeah, it's hard to do the right thing. That's why you do your practice. So a few breaths with the foot flat if you haven't gone flat yet. So that we can clear the mind, so that we can say, oh wow, this thought is coming from this attachment, from this aversion. Press back, downward facing dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Take the right foot. So we've done this before, but we're going to do something different because this is just a nice way to fire up the hip a little bit more. Take the foot so the ankle's to the outside. Then you're going to take the hand, you're going to place it on the arch and the knee. Bend, and I want you to feel like you're trying to squeeze, like you're trying to make your calf, your shin, smaller. So hand, more on the thigh, above the knee, into the arch of the foot, and press. Squeeze them together, like you're trying to make yourself a little shorter here. Squeeze them, press them into each other. Squeeze it. So we do the practice, we do the pranayama, we do the asana, we do the meditation, we do the contemplations. So that we can change, so that we can do the right thing. So that we expand our consciousness and loosen the grip of the ego. Okay, we're moving into eagle pose. So go ahead and release, wrap it, just wrap it around. Let's do the right arm on top today. Square the hips towards me. Squeeze the thighs together. Same way you were squeezing the hands into each other, squeeze the thighs. Are some scars, right? This lead us into these likes and dislikes, right? We come with these samskaras. You have some children that immediately love certain kinds of food. They've not been exposed to them. They have that samskara so deep in them, that's some of their attachments. Or they have this aversion to some vegetable. They brought that with them. But the thing is when we expand, go ahead, push it up. Unwind, open the arms, walk it back down to downward facing dog. Come to a forward plank. Lift the right leg up 1 inch. So let the foot dangle down so you can make sure that it's 1 inch. Right foot down, left foot up 1 inch. Knees if you need to. So we bring our attachments and aversions back with us. That's why it's so hard to fight. That's why you have to do the practice. If you don't do the practice, you just keep putting more and more stuff in the mind that feeds those attachments, feeds those aversions. Release, press back, downward facing dog. Walk it back, hook the second foot. Press into the leg and the foot. Like you're really trying to push them into each other. Right, we've all been in this place where we've cleaned the house really good and we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. We're like, oh, I'm never bringing that junk back in here again. In a year, and it's as completely crowded as it was before. That's what happens. We meditate, right? We do our practice and it feels good, but then we go out and we do the same thing, so we put all the same junk back in there. So basically, we're treading water. We have to quit putting stuff in there. Take it to ego pose. At some point, we will all have to do the right thing. I love this. Somebody at one of the lectures last year when G was here visiting said, or 2 summers ago now, I guess, said, but there's really no thing as a wrong decision. And he said, yes, technically that's right. But how long do you want to take to get to doing the right thing? If you're going to downtown Dayton, do you want to drive up through Tip City and around Troy and all around and then come to downtown Dayton? Or do you just want to go down Ridge to Riverside and then you're into downtown Dayton? Yeah, it's not wrong. It's going to take you a hell of a lot longer. Go ahead, release, push it out. Open the arms, take it down, walk it forward, downward facing dog, come to plank. Everybody gets to decide. It's on you, it's on me. My journey's mine, your journey's yours. But the faster we get to where we're going, the faster we help everyone else. Roll to the right side plank. Don't let the hips drop and keep the hip pointers facing the porch. You can gaze down, straight ahead, or up. Joint stack. So how long do you want to take to do the right thing? Okay, if you need to for this next part, you can drop to the knees, but you're going to come back to a plank, but listen closely. Do not put the left hand on the ground. Let it hover 1 inch from the ground. So left hand, just let it hover. Just hovering. So you come back to a forward plank and let it hover. Okay, now make this very smooth, left hand down, side plank. We have time. I personally just feel like there's just this urgency. I don't want to waste any more time. How many lifetimes have I spent not doing the right thing? Just feeding my attachments and my aversions. Keeping me spinning. Okay, forward plank. Let it hover. Just hover. See if you can feel the energy coming from the mat and the palm going down. Palm flat, press back, downward facing dog. Okay, this time, walk the feet up to the hands. Have the 2 blocks handy. We're going to use them, but not right yet. So, first thing, I want you to take the hands, wrap them around the waist, and feel like you're squeezing the elbows towards each other. So really try to squeeze the elbows towards each other. Okay, lift the right foot up just so it's hovering. The same thing that we just did with the arm. So it's just hovering. Squeeze, come forward. So we're not doing anything with the leg, but you're coming forward. And then bring it up. Doing that a few times. So don't let the leg do anything, but stay right next to its buddy. And you go up and down. Keep squeezing the elbows together. Next time you come down, just pause and hold. 11. Squeeze the elbows. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up nice and slow. Stand there. 11. Let it hover. 10, 9. Squeeze the elbows. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot flat. Second leg. Squeeze it in. And up and down. Which angle, which foot's stronger? Are you dropping in? Maybe you can pull the toes back so you activate the arch more. So you press through the ball, shorten that space between the ball of the foot and the heel so the arch activates. Next time you get down, pause and hold. Squeeze the elbows in. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step on a block. Nothing. Block with the right foot. That foot is going to hover. Take the hands back to that position. Come forward and down. Keep squeezing the elbows in. We're not trying to be cute. Squeeze the elbows in equally towards each other. So don't let that leg, it's not swinging around. Can you keep the foot parallel to the floor? So don't just let it hang, keep it active. Draw it, we're not trying to really draw the toes back, but we want the foot, so if you were to step down, the weight would be even on that foot. Lower down, pause and hold. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Pause. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Same thing. Keep the elbows pulling in. The gnome.
Just can't help but look at it and laugh.
I love him so much.
Like we literally made that mat in blocks and just sat there and laughed for the longest time.
Come forward, pause and hold. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep the foot active. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, release. Get the block out of the way. Take your strap. Hopefully it's bound. If not, hook it up quickly. And make a little bit of a loop. Not a lot. Okay. So for those of you at home, see this? There you go. Not big, small. Hook it around the arch of the right foot. So let's go ahead and start at the front of the mat. Wrap it around the right hand. Now you're going to step back with the right leg. So you're going to come into Virabhadrasana 2, arms straight out. So you want the arm to be parallel to the floor. Square the hips towards the kitchen. Push the arm nice and straight. Left arm comes forward now. Okay, deepen the lunge. Draw the torso back. So let's have the torso right on top of the hip pointers. Don't let the knee drop in. Keep the knee tracking the ankle. Okay, now begin to tug that strap. Tug it. Keep tugging it. Now you're going to release. If you can't keep the foot off the floor, bring it forward. Hook with the left hand. So you're going to switch. So you're hooking the strap with the left hand. Oops.
Hey, Vic.
Are you sure?
Yeah, my legs are short.
And then open the right arm out to the side. You can open it all the way to the back. Gaze can be straight ahead towards the kitchen or towards the back arm. now we're going to move in just a couple of breaths. So you know what's happening. You're going to switch the strap, the foot. You're going back into Virabhadrasana 2. So make it as smooth as you can. So if you want to bend the leg and then hook it, and then you take it back, Virabhadrasana 2. Nice. Nice, Katie. Same leg. Tug the strap. Torso on top of the hip pointers. Remember, all of the body is in the mind, but not all of the mind is in the body. This is why it's so important that we work the body differently. If we constantly do the same thing, we're allowing those thoughts to just be the same too. This can possibly get into some nooks and crannies that we wouldn't necessarily get into. Okay, one more time. Bring it forward so you know what to do, right? If you can keep the foot off the ground, keep it off the ground. Hook it with the opposite hand. Let's add that twist. You've got the strap, so can you keep the leg at least parallel to the floor? You can loosen the strap back, or the hand on the strap rather. Okay, listen, don't go on autopilot. Keep the leg where it is. You can keep it there, or you can bend it. Turn the torso forward, lift the arms up. Bent leg or straight leg, torso comes to me. Nice. And release. Switch the strap. Right, so like think about it. We in school, right, we learn our times tables or multiplication tables, right? So step back when you are ready into Virabhadrasana 2. And we become really proficient at that. Tug it, put some effort into it. If we don't learn how to do division, or we don't learn how to do other things, or you could take it with reading, right? We become more proficient, we learn more. So when I learned my times tables in second grade, right? If that's it, if that's where I stop, at some point, it's like, okay, then what? I mean, how is that helpful anymore? It's the same thing. If we keep doing like the same poses, and so suddenly we can do Hanumanasana, and then that's it. We don't progress anymore because we keep doing the same thing. Then we basically stop. We stop that growth. This goes back to doing the right thing. We have so much that we're storing in. Bring the leg forward, twist it. Find the gaze that's appropriate. Same thing, if you want to loosen the grip a little bit so that the leg can be parallel. The standing leg can have a slight bend in the knee. That's going to protect that leg. Virabhadrasana too. This do the right thing is serious business. And the more we start doing the right thing, the more others will start doing the right thing because we're putting that energy out there. Having that harmony in thought, speech, and action. Okay, bring it forward last time. We need to start thinking, but we need to start thinking more clearly. We can think all day long, but if our thoughts aren't clear, it's not helpful. Do your practice. Okay, come back through center, bent leg or straight leg, arms up. This is really good. It's strengthening the hip flexor region. This is our movement forward in life. And release. As you release, open the arms, take it down. Move the strap away from you. Step back, downward facing dog. Come to a forward plank. Squeeze the elbows in, lower down halfway. Knees if you need to. Push it up. Halfway. 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 Is that you, Carly? Push it up. Halfway. Push it up. Lower down all the way. Inhaling up into cobra, exhaling down. Keep the elbows pulled in. Cobra, arms are bent slightly. Just a tad. Next time you come up, stay up. And opt for Sphinx if that feels more appropriate. Rachel, I can see your little arms right behind his head. I have to peek around to see you. Perfect. Lower down. Okay, interlace the hands around the back of the head. Press the hips to the floor. floor, the tops of the thighs to the floor. If you need support for the knees, ball the feet. Otherwise, tops of the feet to the floor. So interlace the hands at the back of the head. Okay, listen. Not the inhalation, but the exhalation I want you to lift up. The inhalation carries you down, the exhalation lifts you up. So it should feel a bit harder because we're not allowing the diaphragm to assist. So the exhalation brings you up.
Are we lifting our feet too?
Nope.
Okay.
Exhalation brings you up, not the inhalation. Press through the lower body. Okay, the next time you come up, stay up. The next inhalation, release down, just long enough to switch one forefinger over. And let's do it again. Same thing. Exhalation. Remember, where there is dharma, there is always victory. So when we do the right thing, there is always victory. Lift and hold. So options are Sphinx, Cobra, or Dhanurasana. So you decide. Inhale, Sphinx, Cobra, or Dhanurasana. If you're doing Sphinx, really try to pull the torso away from the hip pointers. Let the shoulder heads pull back. Release. Let's take Makrasana for a couple breaths. Feeding the ego is never the right thing. Stroking the ego, not the right thing. Release the hands, press back, downward facing dog. Okay, Now you're gonna come forward into a plank, but you're gonna put most of the weight on the right hand, and you're gonna bring your right leg forward, and then just take it and drop it down. And go into some sort of a pigeon pose. If you're not feeling this, so pause if you can with it lifted before you release it. If you're not feeling pigeon, then go into the supine.
If your foreleg parallel to the short line of the mat.
If it can. If it's not, you can have the heel right underneath the hip pointer as well too. You can put a block underneath the butt. You can use blocks for the forehead, blankets. Okay, walk it back. Slide that foot so it's more closer to the hip pointer. Bring the back leg around. Go into a twist. So we'll be twisting towards the porch. Release, hands forward, step it back. Second leg comes forward. Try to let it hover, so you take it over to the side. Try to let it hover just a minute before you drop it down, and then release it, and then go into that. However you want, blocks, cushions, blankets, walk it forward. Okay, walk it back, slide the foot next to the hip pointer, swing the second leg forward, wrap it around. push the leg forward, unwind the legs, just go into Paschimottanasana. Before we do relaxation, remember to watch the gnome nose. You must kiss the snake, share, like, comment. Spread the good word, people. Check Indigo the ecstasy. Y'all know the drill.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Exactly. What are you doing? The right thing. And walk it up. Come to the back and let's get ready for relaxation. Making any adjustments when you get to the floor, covering up socks, anything underneath the knees, the calves, whatever you need, so that the body can become totally quiet, totally still. Very good. Can we allow the space at the crown of the head to relax? The space in between the eyebrows. Relax. Temples. Relax. Eyes. Nose. Mouth. Relax. Chin. Jawline. Ears. Relax. Neck. Throat. Relax. Shoulders. Upper arms. Elbows. Forearms. Relax. Wrist. Palms. Fingers. Relax. Tailbone. Lower back. Middle back. Upper back. Relax. Chest. Belly. All the internal organs. Relax. Hips. Buttocks. Relax. Thighs. Knees. Shins. Calves. Relax. Ankles. Heels. Arches. Tops of the feet. Balls of the feet. Toes. Relax. The entire body has become totally, completely relaxed. Put your faith in God. Then do whatever you can within your capacity, because you cannot do anything beyond your capacity. If you could do something beyond your capacity, then you would have the capacity to do it. So try your utmost, but at the same time have faith in God. God, I am doing all I can, but I need your help. I need your strength. I don't have that much strength of my own. So have that faith and do it with sincere prayer. It's better to try than to be afraid. If out of fear you don't try it, how do you know whether you can do it or not? Sometimes when you try, you may do it and find your fear was just a waste. So there's no need to be afraid. Fear is not going to help us. Simply do it boldly, and God will help you. Remember, God helps those who help themselves. If you have that kind of faith, there's nothing to be afraid of. Fear and faith do not go together. You say you have faith in God. God has all the strength, all the capacity. He is omnipresent, omnipotent. If you have that deep, profound faith in a powerful God, and if at the same time you say, oh, I'm afraid of this and I'm afraid of that, then you don't really believe in God. If you believe in God, you will think, God will take care of me. I'm doing what I can. Even if something happens so that you don't get what you want, you do not need to be afraid. Your faith will say, well, God didn't want me to have that. You accept it. I wanted it, yes. I tried hard. I didn't get it. Why? Because God didn't want me to have it. So I will accept it. If you have that faith, you can move mountains. The problem is you cannot develop that kind of faith unless the mind is clean. You need a steady and pure mind, an undisturbed mind that's not distracted by all kinds of worldly desires. A mind that is not contaminated by I, me, mine. Only in a pure mind can you develop faith. If you have that faith, you can achieve anything. Blessed are the pure in heart. They shall see God. That's the duty of every sincere seeker after truth. Truth being permanent peace, permanent joy, experiencing God in the form of peace and joy within. There is no shortcut. Now returning to the breath, directing it to the toes and the fingers, and gently begin to wiggle them. Then allowing the body to stretch, to move, as if for the first time today. And when it feels right, rolling to whichever side is beckoning. And when the body decides it's time, bringing it to a seated posture. Feel free to scan the body anytime you want. Mata Chapita Twameva Twameva Bandus Chasaka Twameva Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Ma Kashchit Dukkha Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all experience prosperity in everything. May all be free from suffering. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let me cherish those that God cherishes. Let me forgive those that God forgives. Let me serve those that God serves. Let me love those that God loves. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you. See you tomorrow.